against the Pelicans. Is it going to be hard to get everybody to reset for just a run-of-the-mill regular season game on Friday?
Uh, I don't think so. I don't know. You lose two in a row, you lose three in a row, and you get down. Sometimes you lose games that you think you probably should have won. You get down, and you just gotta keep moving forward. The season's a long season. You should never get too high or too low throughout the course of the season because it's so long. So I think our guys are competitive and they wanna play the right way and all that other stuff. So I think that doesn't necessarily mean we're gonna go in and kick Phoenix's ass or get a win, but I think the guys are ready to get going with the season.
The fact that you are playing a Suns roster that's just loaded with talent, does that make it a little easier to get their attention?
Uh, Maybe. I've never really looked at it that way. I feel like our guys have been pretty good at just realizing, hey, we got to come to play because this is the next one, and not necessarily uh, looking at looking at their record or anything like that. So hopefully we'll be locked in and ready to come out and play. Yeah,
What's your messaging for the team right now?
this is the same. It's we want to play fast, we want to play physical, we want to play together in the right way. So our messaging is not the same. We're not going to change it just because we lost this last game. We're going to stay the course. The season's a long season, and we feel like we can be great with what we have and what we're preaching.
It's not often you get a break like this, middle of the season. How beneficial was this week to just be on the practice floor, maybe let guys heal up a little bit too?
It's good. I guess I don't really look at it as a break.
From playing games, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, what is today's Thursday? We played what, Monday, Friday. I guess I never really looked at it. It's hard for me to answer the question just because I never really looked at it as a break. Because we came in and practice yesterday, we came in and practice today. I'm a fan of practice now. I love to practice. I know guys don't. I wouldn't if I was a player. But it's always good to have multiple practices, in my opinion, while trying to get some rest.
Was today, focus-wise, similar to yesterday, kind of a building off of yesterday with that defensive focus?
Yeah, we played a few 2-minute games, a couple of 2-minute games today to put guys in situations where, obviously it's the last 2 minutes of the game and kind of manufacturing who's up, who's down. We did some transition stuff. And then every day we try to focus on the details of what we think is going to help us be better as a unit defensively. So, every day we hopefully build, but, I've said this before, sometimes you're going to take 5, 6, 7 steps forward, and you may take 1 or 2 steps backwards, and hopefully it's just a 1 or 2, and it's not 3, 4, 5, 6, at a time, which can happen. And when it does, that's part of what a season's about. In my opinion, teams that can handle that are the ones that are going to do well in the playoffs because they faced adversity head on a couple of times throughout the course of the year. They figured it out together, and they move forward the right way together. So hopefully we don't take too many steps backwards.
With the focus on defense the last couple of days, what adjustments are you having to make at practice when it comes to, the missed closeouts, small box outs? Is it mostly film oriented, or is it more you're doing it out here too?
No, it's a combination of both. Now, we showed them film and showed them the areas that we felt we had, or our controllables, stuff that we had control over, and where we didn't. And then you just stress it out here, small details that you stress throughout the course of the year. But I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, we didn't just have a defensive practice. It was still both. But we have to be better defensively. The last 3 games I showed our guys, I mean, even the Nuggets win, you throw the Nuggets win in there, in the last 3 games we're giving up 125 points a game on 54% from the field, and and the defensive rating's not good, and and so all those things, if you were to take those 3 games and quantify with the current rankings for the year, we'd be dead last, I think, in all these categories except for one, and we can't do that. We have to be better than that. And we had gotten as high as 13th at one point. And I know it's a small sample size, but it's a small sample size both ways. You can only go with what you have. So we have to be better. And I'm one to try to address anything that I think can help us going forward. And right now, even including the win against the Nuggets, our defense hasn't been good.
Do you think your defensive shot profile has been okay? Like, it seems like you guys are not giving up too many corner threes or at the rim looks, but they're still going down at a good rate.
Yeah, and that means that our closeouts have to be better, and we're trying to find the fine line of getting guys off the line and still trying to stay in front. The one thing that we can't do and we have a habit of doing is closing short. Like if you're a hot shooter, especially at our size, if I stop here and let you shoot the ball and then I contest, well, if you're Trey Murphy at 6'10", which there are a lot of guys that are 6'10", he's probably going to shoot through you. It's normal logic. A smaller guy stopping short and trying to contest a great three-point shooter, you got to get to their body. And now when you get to their body, you got to figure out how to get to their body, but not let them blow by you to where now we got to collapse and they can kick again. And if they do kick again, we just got to keep scrambling. Now all bets are off. You got to talk, you got to communicate, you got to fly around, contest, and try to limit them to one shot. And so trying to emphasize that has been something that we've done all year, but we put a little bit more emphasis on it the last couple of days.
So you're not a fan of those fly-by, like jumping contests?
No, that's a great point. Now, if the distance is such that I can't get to your body, then jump in the air. Does that make sense? If the distance is such that I can get to your body, there's no reason for me to jump in the air. I just need to get completely to your body to where my chest is basically touching your arm. Not here, because if you go here, what's going to happen? You just go up as a foul. So my chest, but has to be here on the closeout. And we have a habit of going here and then jumping. And if you watch our guys go here and then jump, that's not a great contest versus guys like Steph and Kevin Durant and Book and Austin Reed, great three-point shooters. You can't do that, not at our level. So we have to do a better job of closing to guys' chests while trying not to let them drive by us. And one more time, and like I said, you jump in the air. If I'm so far and I can't get to your chest, now I'm jumping in the air and hopefully landing in front of you and still being able to cut you off.
What player on your team would be a good example of that? I'm just saying, I see Keegan.
Yeah, just watch the game. You trying to get me to call my guys out?
No.
You tell me.
I see Keegan doing it a lot. He's an example to me. That same example, getting his chest up in there and then moving back.
Now and I'm not saying Keegan doesn't do it, but there's a different one of the things.
No, I'm saying he does it. He does it. Which
So
you want him to do.
I'm explaining to you. Keegan does a nice job of guarding the ball like that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Davion does a nice job of guarding the ball like that. I'm talking on a closeout. There's a difference between already guarding the ball and putting your chest on him and being in a help position. Now the ball gets kicked or swung, and now I got to go close out to a guy's chest. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Keegan's not doing it right, but that's what you have to look for is a closeout situation. How do guys close out? Do guys close out here and versus a hot shooter? And I coach Ben Wallace, and he may come looking for me. Ben, I really love you. Please don't come looking for me because you could probably beat me up. But if I'm guarding Ben Wallace and I'm in a help position and Ben Wallace is at the three-point line, the ball gets swung to him, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to let you shoot it, and then I'm going to contest after you shoot it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But a guy like Reggie Miller, okay, it's name for the past. Boom, I'm in a help position. I'm getting I got to have body-to-body contact with you when I close out. And, there are different ways you could teach it technique-wise, and you have to do it what's comfortable. The one thing I don't want to do, if we can help it, is, like I said, there's two things. The first one is if you're Reggie Miller, is stop here, let you shoot it, now I contest. Reggie's making that 9 out of 10 times. Or if you're Reggie Miller, I'm here, and I can get to your body, but I just jump in the air way past you, and I stop, and I see you take a side dribble and shoot it. That's not good neither. So now you have to find a fine line in between. So I got to, back when you're in elementary school, everybody teaches you to chop, 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 chop on the closeout. You can't chop, chop, chop in this league versus hot shooters. You got to run all the way to their chest, get to their chest, and show your hands. Get to their body with your chest while showing your hands. And now, as they're going up, you may raise up at the same time with them. It makes sense. Okay.
So how big of a deal is it then having these guys, your guys, making sure that they're doing their homework, understanding personnel the right way, even when there's only a certain amount of games or a certain amount of time in between? Is that on them, or are there certain coaches that are also like tutoring that in between games as well? Like, you got to know that you got to chop your feet on this guy, or you got to know you got to run through on this guy. Like, who is that on the player, or is that on the coaches helping?
No, it's on both. It's on everybody. And we drill it. We watch film on it as a team.
Yeah.
We drill it as a team. We also show individual film on it to our guys. You see our guys a lot of times before games sitting with one coach watching film. And now, not all the clips are on that,
Yeah.
but maybe one may be on it. And then on top of that, we also show individual edits, and we list who's hot during shoot around. And then we send the players individual edits on everybody we're playing. So there's a lot that goes into it, and it's not just a scout report here, figure it out. No, there's individual tape that we watch on the players as a group. There's individual tape that's sent to the guys on an app that they can pull up any time of the day, 6, 20, 50 times a day if they want to. Sorry about that. But it's pretty in-depth with what we try to go through in order to help the guys out. But at the end of the day, some of it is on them to take advantage of it, because the reality of it is some guys don't like to watch film, on their own. So.
Made you
Can
work
you
today,
see
huh?
who's logging into the app?
A lot of work.
Can you see who's logging into the app in front?
Yeah, we can. And I'm not going to tell you who it is.
I wasn't even gonna ask. I wasn't even gonna ask.
Just a real quick. Just a real quick.
Yeah.
How much time do y'all spend watching film per day, or does it just vary?
In terms of me compared to Jordy or like,
No, I'm just
it
talking about
varies.
as a team. Because
Oh, no. So, like I said, we after a game, we'll watch anywhere from 8 to 15 offensive clips and 8 to 15 defensive clips after a game as a team. And then game day, we'll watch what may amount to 20 to 25 individual clips. So, like, one of our coaches would have already gone through it, and we'll start with the point guard. We may show 3 clips on the opposing point guard, 3 clips on the starting 2 guard, 3 clips on the starting 3, and then, as the backups, we may show 1 or 2 clips, whatever their strengths are. We'll show 8 to 10, 8 to 12 defense, their offensive clips. Does that make sense? We'll also show 8 to 12 things that we think that we could take advantage of them on the offensive end, our offensive end of the floor. Then we'll also do the same thing before the game, but not show the individual player edits to the guys before the game. And then even before the game, our coaches will sit down individually with the players and show them tape. So and then they have all this they can access on the app. So there's plenty of film that they can watch. We try not to show, like I said, more than 15 offensive clips and 15 defensive clips per film session, because that can get pretty lengthy, and you don't want to do that.